Hey, how's it going? Up to News Act, Tuesday, 7th of December 2021. We're looking from the papers. First up, New York Times, picture of 2 Ukrainian soldiers waiting on the war to start. Beside that, Omicron not as bad as we thought. Beside that again, New York going to have private staff vaccine mandate. Down here, some cows. They can't find feed for them in America because of all the rain. Beside that, Tesla being investigated for their self-driving cars, which were shit and killed a load of people. Beside that, America are going to diplomatically boycott the Olympics. Great, we did it, Joe, thanks. Wall Street Journal, some horse that died RIP. Markets line go up because Omicron not so bad. Inflation line go up. Natural gas prices line go down because of warm weather coming in America next week. Okay, totally normal thing to happen this time of year in this part of the world. USA Today, Bob Dole, facts, midterm elections. New York Post, Sandinista Claus. There's Mayor Bill de Blasio being portrayed as some kind of Father Castro figure. What's he gifting us this year? Vaccine mandate for private employers. Notice that private is in italics, as if private employment is totally outside the realm of any government intervention. Facilities to shoot up with drugs. That's a good thing. Led to a lot less drug overdose deaths and the likes of Portugal. Down here, Gifted and Talented Programs Acts. Don't know what that one is, but 2 out of 3 ain't bad. National Post from Canada, Jihadi Jack. Some lad who went off to fight for ISIS. He was last spotted in a Syrian jail 5 years ago. His parents are not sure if he's alive or not. Grandma from Cuba, December 7th is a big day in the revolutionary calendar. It's the day when they commemorate the martyrs and revolutionaries who overthrew the Spanish in the 1800s. It's also the day of death of a man called Jose Antonio de la Caridad Macio Grajales, often simply known as Macio, or the Bronze Titan. He's 125 years dead today. He was an Afro-Cuban who fought for the abolition of slavery and Cuban independence, famously quoted as saying, "No whites nor blacks, but only Cubans." Yes, down the bottom quote from Fidel, "Macio is ours, his glory and his memory. We will continue to honour him in 1,000 different ways." Yes, as you rightly should. Thank you, Fidel. Start South Africa, corruption stuff. Some road being barricaded. People want their electricity hooked up again. Jerusalem Post, Prime Minister says we're going on the offensive against Arab crime. Not sure they ever needed crime as a pretext to go on the offensive against the Arab population, but there you go. Tehran Times, Iran and the UAE getting the relationship back on track. They obviously don't see eye to eye on a lot of things like Yemen and Syria. One thing they do see eye to eye on is that they both absolutely detest Israel. The Hindu, government expresses regret over Nagaland killings. That's the 15 civilians who were shot dead by the army the other day. Probably nothing's going to happen because they have immunity. Over here, Vlad and Modi, we're going to see a high-res picture of that in a sec. The Australian Bitcoin bros are boo-hooing because some exchange got hacked and almost went out of business. Okay, my heart bleeds for you. Global Times from China, there's Vlad on a side quest with Modi in India, delivering the S-400 surface-to-air missile system, some of the most advanced in the world. Irish Examiner, storm coming in, doesn't look good. Jobs, first-time buyers tap Bank of Mum and Dad for €52,000 mortgage deposits. Guess the headline could have said, first-time upper-middle-class buyers tap Bank of Mum and Dad, who are also upper-middle-class, for €52,000 mortgage deposits. Irish Times, top right, Fintan O'Toole, if former ETA militants can say sorry, why can't Sinn Féin? Classic pro-treaty shite from the Irish Times. I guess Fintan O'Toole's history book only goes far back as about 1960 and no further. Storm, COVID, first-time buyers thing. Irish Daily Mail, pregnant lady, celeb, storm. Irish Sun, Harry and Charles don't talk, Royal Rumble. Some kind of nonsense royal story to deflect from the fact that they're both related to Prince Andrew. We want to question regarding his relationship. People billionaire financier Jeffrey Epstein did not kill himself, RIP. Down here, storm coming. They've dug up this photo of Theresa Mannion from her famous viral video in 2015. What was it she said again?
Don't make unnecessary journeys. Don't take risks on treacherous roads. Don't make unnecessary journeys. Don't take risks on treacherous roads.
Anyway, Belfast Telegraph, celebs, football, caravan owners, sale of fake vaccination cards beneath contempt, selling them for only €50. That's pretty cheap. They were selling them in Bulgaria for $300, so someone shortchanged themselves. The Herald, one man and his dog, that Scottish lad has walked the width to Canada to highlight environmental issues, fair play. Christmas chaos fears as Tesco staff vote for strike. Oh my god, someone think of the selection boxes. Tesco have offered their staff a 4% pay increase, but inflation is about 6%, so in real terms that's a pay decrease, so absolute solidarity, hope it goes well for them. Daily Record from Scotland, there's Boris Johnson committing a crime by pretending to be a police officer. Financial Times, there's Vlad and Modi again. Modi really dominating on the body language front. I doubt Vlad the Sigma male be too happy to see that out and about. Underneath that, SEC probes Trump's non-woke group as blank check fear rise. That's talking about SPAC, special purpose acquisition companies. They've raised $200 billion in various deals this year and they're worried they're able to avoid certain regulations. Down here, Facebook, Amazon and Google now control half of the global advertising spend outside China. Good work if you can get it. The Guardian, Afghans left to die in Kabul due to UK red tape chaos, says diplomat. Some whistleblowers come out and basically digging into the civil service saying they weren't working enough hours and they didn't do enough to help various Afghans in Kabul that have been helping the Brits. Down here, Aung San Suu Kyi has been jailed, some kind of sham trial it says. Omicron cases may be much higher, yes of course. The Independent, help us get jobless young people into work? No. Help us get universal basic income so young people can cover the cost of living and not be forced into jobs they despise that will make them depressed and mess up their health. Underneath that, the Kabul UK thing, Daily Telegraph, cricket, some golfer up in court over sexual assault claims. Afghan thing, Times, Boris Johnson pretend to be a cop again, Russia, Ukraine, Omicron, TV blamed for middle class cocaine use. Is it TV's fault? I would have said the reason people use drugs is because of the neoliberal hellscape we find ourselves in. That's certainly the reason I use drugs. Just normal legal drugs, booze, fags, opiates, that type of thing. iNewspaper, Omicron, Daily Mirror, Boris pretend to be a cop. Grenfell inquiry ongoing. They're calling for David Cameron to come directly. Apparently the government knew all about this unsafe cladding and various materials that were completely not safe at all. Hand in hand with the developers. Daily Express, Boris as a cop. Prince Harry, stuck in a job you don't enjoy, quit and put your happiness first yet. Would love to do that if only we had universal basic income, please. Price of living go up, some kind of celebrity thing. Daily Mail, Afghans, what have we got here? Fergie, I'm the most persecuted woman in royal history. Has Fergie heard of Anne Boleyn? Evidently not. Anyway, Sarah, Duchess of York, she is of course the ex-wife of Prince Andrew, still wanted question regarding if the people have been influenced to Jeffrey Epstein did not come to RIP, and she has her own direct connections to Jeffrey Epstein because Jeffrey Epstein paid off a bunch of her debts and helped her avoid bankruptcy. The Metro, celebs, something about that golfer again. Daily Star, you can live longer if you get a grape injection, live a decade longer. The way the world is looking, I don't want to live a decade longer at all, but thanks anyway. Julian Assange is still in jail, in maximum security Belmarsh prison without fair trial or due process. In the famous words of George Orwell, journalism is printing something that someone else doesn't want you to print. Everything else is just public relations. If you want to stay off corporate or state media for the day, just click the link in the description. Alright, thanks, good luck.